in the entertainment industry, a seasoned professional who has not only shaped the cultural landscape but continues to inspire the talent of tomorrow. With a career spanning for extraordinary decades, our guest has left an indelible mark in the disciplines of acting, singing, dancing, directing, choreography, and songwriting. Having worked alongside international icons including Mariah Carey, Lauryn Hill, Vanessa Williams, and many more, our guest influence extends across Broadway, Las Vegas, Atlantic City, Japan, and Europe, captivating audience through TV, stage, music videos, and concert tours. This trailblazer specialties range from production to creation, offering coaching and workshops that encompass both the business and the performance aspect of the entertainment industry. Currently, our distinguished guest, and our host, the Ultimate Underground Experience Radio Show with Uncle Earl, a daily spectacle that showcases a curated blend of music, insightful interviews, and dedication to promoting emerging talents and beyond the airwaves. Uncle Earl is embarking on a new venture with Earl Hit Records, a new NYC label designed to embrace the sounds of house, dance, electronic pop, and funk music. Let's welcome Uncle Earl to the show. How you doing,
Yeah,
Uncle
who are you
Earl?
talking about?
Uncle Earl, I'm glad. I'm happy and honored that you could join us
Yeah,
on the
thanks, man.
Expression Show,
Yeah, I'm glad we can
and
do it.
excited, man. And your career spans on impressive for decades, covering diverse disciplines in the entertainment industry. What motivated you to pursue such a multifaceted journey, and how do you believe these experiences contribute to your unique perspective?
Well, I have to say, first of all, thank you for having me on, and thank you to all your listeners for tolerating me for the next whatever minutes, because I'm kind of
Yeah,
crazy. I'm kind of cray, but I'm gonna tone it down for now. But getting back
it's
to the
all good.
question, getting back to the question,
Yeah,
I
good,
come
man.
from a showbiz family. Actually, my mom, Sandra Reeves Phillips, she was a Northern UK soul star back in the '60s.
Oh,
So
okay.
music was around the house, and I was one of those curious kids. I used to like to take things apart, like the record
Hmm.
players and stuff. And
Right,
she, I
right,
mean, all the pieces were in the middle of it. She's like, "Boy, would you put my record player back there?" And I could do it. I don't know what I was doing,
right,
but I
right.
could do it. So I started with music first, and then she started acting, and she should let me tag along. I'd be sitting in a room. And then
Mm.
one day the teacher asked me to get produce something. He's like, "Oh boy, you got a little bit of talent." So it just started like
Yeah,
through osmosis. I wasn't planning on doing that.
right, right.
I was a kid from Brooklyn, New York. Grew up in the ghetto.
Hmm.
We were living like three generations deep in one apartment. My grandmother,
Hmm.
my great grandma, my mama, my daddy, me, my sister. The typical
Right.
story. And we just happened to have some talent. That's how we got out.
Okay,
But
that's
it has
great, man.
informed me because it's kept me humble. Because I know where I come from,
Hmm.
and I know where I want to go, and I know where I don't want to go.
Right,
So
right.
I keep it locked. People ask me, how was it living in LA? I said I didn't live in LA. I survived it.
He was working with international luminaries like Mariah Carey and Lauryn Hill, Vanessa Williams is no small feature. That's no small
No,
feature.
it's not.
Can you share a memorable experience or insight gained for from collaborating with such an iconic artist like that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Robert, I feel blessed to have had
Hmm.
all these experiences. And sometimes people are like, "Oh man, you couldn't have done all that. How'd you do all that?" I was like, "Yeah, I did." I believe in. I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual, and
Hmm.
I believe that I'm anointed in the arts. The arts is my ministry.
Right, right, right. Still there?
By, by men,
You still there? Still there?
Back.
Yeah, you back now. I don't know. We're gonna start off right where you left off.
Let me just tell you, the
I
devil,
edit.
the devil is a liar. The devil is
Yeah,
a
he
busy.
is.
He will
He
not
is.
win.
He is. You right. He is, man. Hey, I'm gonna edit it anyway. So we're gonna
Okay.
start off right where we left off.
Okay.
So I was
I'll answer
listening to
the
you
question. So you were asking me about,
about the
where
Mariah, and the the experience on the inside game from that
yes,
collaboration with
yes,
them great
yes,
artists like that.
yes. And like I was saying, I've been blessed to be placed in the room with these individuals like Mariah Carey, Lauryn Hill, Grace Jones, James Ingram. I mean, the list goes on and on. By the grace of God, I got there. And, what it is that we're all just people out here trying to do the same thing. And some
Right.
people just reach different levels. And I didn't treat them special. I didn't, acquiesce to them. And I would just talk to them like you and I talking right now. And they respect that because they don't want to be looked at as a fan. They don't want you to
Right.
come in and
Right.
work like a fan. So I talk to them and like Mariah Carey, what do you want me to do, Lacey? I'm like, oh, really? You want me to tell you what to do? And yeah, but people have a
Yeah.
misconception of a lot of artists because I was in a room one on one with her. She is a
Mhm.
wonderful lady, and she cooks down. She cooked dinner for me one day. She cooked some pasta for me.
Who you
In
talking
fact,
about, Mariah?
yes,
Wow,
yes,
she
and
cook like that.
yeah, let me tell you, we actually literally walked through the streets of New York together one day, and no one knew who she was because they only see her when
Mm.
she's done up in her makeup and in her gowns and all that stuff. She took all her makeup off. She's really pretty without her makeup. I think
She's
she's
pretty.
pretty. I
I
think she's
already,
prettier without her makeup, actually, but she's
I can
beautiful with
believe
that.
it.
But yeah, we walked through the streets. We walked up down Broadway in New York City, and she's like, "Lacey, watch this." And we just walked to a restaurant. She's like, went in, we sat down and ate, and no one recognized. I was like, "Oh my god! If they only knew this was the multi-million-dollar thing." But yeah,
Right, right.
I was on her butterfly tour after
Mm-hmm.
she left her husband. Butterfly tour with Trey
Mm-hmm.
Lorenz was on the tour as well. He's a good buddy of mine. And we went to Japan, we went to Australia, we went to Taiwan, Hawaii, and I was her personal trainer and I was the associate director and choreographer of her tour.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow,
I was with her for like 6 months. That was an amazing experience. If I never do it again.
outstanding, man.
Lauren Hill was another thing. I was actually in Sister Act 2 with Lauren
mm, yeah, I
before
didn't
I
know
actually,
that.
yeah, I was in Sister Act 2. So the opening number when Whoopi's flying through the air and singing and dancing, I'm one of the guys singing and dancing with her in her Vegas act.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I see. I haven't seen it in so long, but
And
yeah,
if you
yeah.
look, I'm the guy who's over her right shoulder
Mhm.
all the time.
Oh, okay,
I'm on
okay, okay.
the
Yeah, I got to
yeah,
go back
so
look at it though. But I do remember that scene.
yeah,
That,
yeah.
but it was so
So
I haven't watched so long.
yeah,
Check
so
it
I had
out
met
again.
her then, but then years later, when she did the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill,
Hmm.
she was going to do the video for that thing, and she had an audition, and the choreographer was like, "Oh, Lacey's in New York, can we call him in?"
Hmm.
So I went in and met with her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I remember you," da, 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 da. And we did the video of that thing in the streets of
Hmm.
Harlem in New York City, and now this is the 25th anniversary of that video right now.
Wow.
Ain't that something?
Your performance have great stage worldwide.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. I mean,
stages worldwide, and from Broadway to Japan. How has the global landscape influenced your approach to entertainment? And do you have a favorite like audience or venue that holds a special place in your heart?
mm. That's a good ass question. Ah, wow. Well, it has informed me because it has opened my mind to endless possibilities, because you go to these places and you, if you're smart, you will learn the culture, you'll learn the customs, you'll try to learn the language, because we're all basically doing the same thing. It's just sounds and vibrations.
Hmm.
Language is different in different rearrangements of sounds.
Right.
So I always try to infiltrate wherever I go and get with the people. And when you do that with them, they're very endearing and they'll pull you in, even if you struggle. They'll give you some wind under your wings. So I've been blessed, like I said, once again, to travel. I started working in Japan first. No, no, no. I'm sorry. When I was a teenager, I went to Europe first, Switzerland when I was 15 with a show. And then I went to Japan when I was 19 the first time. And this is back when there were no black folks over there teaching. I was one of the first black teachers in Japan teaching theater and dance.
Wow.
Back in the 80s, it was like
Hmm.
85.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it has just enriched. I mean, it's just opened me up, and I have my ideas are worldly, so
Hmm.
I don't do things the way people would do them here necessarily. And they're like, oh, listen,
Right.
you can't do that, we don't do it that way. I'm like, why not? Why
Right. Right.
not? Why can't we think outside the box? It's about expansion. Why you want to
Yeah.
stay in the same place? Get out of your backyard, go, travel the world, see things. That opens your eyes, to endless possibilities, like I said. And it has kept me humble too, because when you go to these countries and you
Hmm.
don't know a thing about it, you need people.
Right.
So it
Right.
makes you hone up on your communication skills, your people skills, and just
Hmm.
how to have empathy, humility, patience, you know
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
communicate properly. Because if you have to communicate to someone who doesn't speak your language, how do you
Right.
get them to do what you need them to do? And I happen to
Right.
actually
Right.
learn a little Japanese. I speak a little Japanese now,
Okay.
and a little bit of Italian, a little bit of Spanish. Wherever I go, I try to pick up something. You
Wow. Yeah. I got to get on that level, man.
know.
The ultimate underground experience radio show. Okay.
Yes,
The with the Uncle Earl.
yes.
Is a daily showcase of creative music and insightful interviews. What inspired you to venture into the radio, and how do you see this platform evolving in the digital age?
Hmm. You asked some damn good questions, man. I like you. Uh,
I
so
appreciate it.
yeah, I'm gonna go back. I got to go back. So I'm gonna start at the end and go backwards. So this
Yeah.
year was my 13th anniversary with the radio show. January of this year was 13 years.
Hmm.
And when that happened, I actually took a break because I I felt like I had gotten to the ceiling of
Hmm.
that level, but I'm gonna pick it back up. But I need to regroup, restructure, and see how I want to come back out, because I did everything that I could do with what that was. But how it began, I was looking through the LA Times one day. The writer's strike had happened in LA when I was
Hmm.
living there. Was working at NBC at the time as a music librarian on a show called The Singing Bee. And I was
Hmm.
working with Ray Chu from the Apollo. I was his music librarian. We had the strike. I had a
Right.
great paying job. Everything went, they pulled the plug on everything. It was a new show. I was like, oh, this is my thing. I'm gonna be working forever and a lot. And no, we did like a season and a half and it was over. And I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I'm like 50 years old now. I can't start my life all over again. So I was walking through the streets of LA and I was crying. I mean, I was crying because I was like, I got rent, I got things to. I was like, oh shoot, how am I going to do this? So all of a sudden, I saw the LA Times and they had a little itty bitty ad for voiceovers, because people always said my voice was
Hmm.
cool and I should try, to get the voiceovers. They make a lot of money. I was like, cool, all
Yeah,
right.
you got that voice, man.
So
That
I went in.
Mac Daddy
Yeah,
voice.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Uncle voice, Uncle Earl.
Right. 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 Right.
Yeah. But I went into the studio and I read some copy for them. They're like, oh, that's really cool. Have you ever thought about doing your own radio show? I said, no. They said, well, why don't you? So I did a test and they liked what I did and they gave me 5 minutes a week when
Hmm.
I first started. And then it evolved into twice a week at 30 minutes. and then it
Mm.
went to, why don't you try an hour show, and then once a week, and then it went to an hour show a couple of days a week, and then it went to a 2 hour show 6 days a week, twice a day, over the
Mm.
13 years. And that's where I
Wow.
was when I finished. I had three different shows I did. I had Voices of the People, I had the Grab Bag Show, and Groovy Jam Sessions. I had three different
Mm.
Groovy Jam Sessions was
Okay.
DJs from around the world. I would showcase. Grab Bag Show was
Mm.
interviews, craziness, and mayhem. And Voice of the People were current events placed with music today to help tell the story and the stories of what's going on in the world today. So I had three different programs. I was working my butt off, and I needed a break actually. But I talked to
Oh,
it
right.
was
I
great though. It's like
understand
going
that.
to school, man, because I talked to so many people. I learned a lot during that process. It was great. It was awesome.
That's great. That's great.
Before we
You
go on,
go ahead.
I need to get my plug.
Go
My
ahead.
laptop's going down. Okay,
Yep.
sorry.
You all right?
I'm usually more professional than this.
Oh no, you all right, man. I'm like I said, I'm gonna edit it anyway. So this just the rough draft.
All right.
So
Is it
I
jiving
just
with you so far? Is it cool so far?
it's great, man. Like I said, I'm gonna edit, cut out the certain things that need to be, you know what I'm saying.
Okay, we good
But
now.
it's all good. It's going outstanding actually.
Okay, we good.
Earl Hits Records
Yes,
marks a new chapter in your
yes.
career, and focusing on the sounds of the house and the dance and the electronic pop and funk music. What drove you to create this label, and how do you envision it shaping the future of these genres?
Hmm. Well, I have to go back to when I was a young man.
Hmm.
I was a club kid way back when Paradise Garage was happening, Tunnel, Tracks, all these big clubs in there, Pyramid, Red Parrot, Uncle Charlie's, all these. I used to hang out. I was dancing in the day and clubbing at night. And I
Hmm.
wasn't even legal at the time. I think I was like 15, 16, but I looked mature, so I could get in the clubs and they didn't
Right,
card you
right,
back then. So I always had dance music and dancing. Vibrations is all, that's what I'm all about.
right.
What makes people move, so I didn't plan on doing this, but a friend of mine asked me to write a song years later when I was in LA. She was doing a nightclub act or something. She's like, I need a song like Diana Ross,
Hmm.
but I don't want to sing a Diana Ross song. Could you write me one? I was like, okay. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I just wrote the song. She gave me a
Yeah,
topic and I wrote about it. And I said, here's what I got. She's like, I love it. I love it. She did it. It went great. I was like, maybe I should do that. So I
right,
started
right.
writing that just like that on a whim. And then a couple of years later, I was with a buddy of mine. He says, you really have a nice voice, man. You should sing. I was like, yeah, well, I used to sing when I was a kid, but and he's like, man, don't worry about age. Just put it out there, man. Just do it. So I started writing and going in the studio, and people liked it. I was like, oh wow. And I won like my first song out. I won an award. I was like, oh wow, damn. Okay, I guess I do have some talent. And then I
Yeah,
said, well, I need a home. I came back
right.
to New York and I said, okay, I need a home for my music, and I want to nurture up and coming talent as well as doing my thing. I decided to take the Babyface route. You know how he started the Face Records and then he started,
Right.
producing other people. So that's the trek I'm on right now. But to say that Earl Hits Records was started to combine music, fashion, culture, and just happy vibes. All
Right.
my music is
Hmm.
positive. I don't sing about a stripper pole. I don't do no champagne rooms. I don't do none of that. It's got to have a
Yeah.
message, and you
Right.
dance.
Yeah.
You
That's
dance, or you
yeah.
even a love song. It's got to be just positive. So that's what Earl Hoods Records is, and I started in 2016. So
Hmm.
this is the what we're 2023. So 7 years old. So I'm past the 7 year itch. So it's,
Yeah.
it's doing all right. It's going all right.
Right.
So for
Right.
next year, I will start putting out other artists. I've been doing collaborations to break
Hmm.
in with DJs and producers, but now I'm going to start putting out other artists in 2024. And I got some bad mama jams. I got some people who are on Billboard. ready to work with me.
I
I'm
believe
not
it. I
able.
believe. I'm hoping that like we talked before. I'm hoping that me and you can collab
Yeah,
and this our show. Just
yeah.
infuse everything together, and you can check out some of the artists as well that's going to be on our show.
Hmm.
That's what I want. I also want just a lot of different scouts or just people.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get them to to see that, hey, I'm gonna be offering a collection
yeah.
of artists. So,
Because it's all
but
about it. I just want to say one thing. It's all about
mhm,
that, man. Because we as a people, us, I'm saying us,
mhm,
you and I, we need to work together more.
mhm.
All the other people do it. The Chinese people do it. The Koreans do it.
Yep,
The Jewish
yep,
people. They all
yep.
stick together, and we get
Exactly.
ours, and they're like, "Oh man, I got mine. You, good luck, man."
Mhm.
And that disturbs me. We could. I don't preach,
I mean, go ahead. I want you to preach.
but
Go ahead.
man, I
Go
mean,
ahead, brother.
we are the innovators. We are the creators. This world was
Mhm,
created by us. I mean, everything that they have, the stoplights, the refrigerator, the GPS
mhm.
came from black people, you know,
Exactly.
and we didn't have the copyright and the license on, so they took it. But we
Mhm.
started, and we raised the babies, we cultivated the land,
Yep.
we did all that. If we would collectively get together, as opposed to being a
Yeah.
me, and go
Exactly.
we
Exactly.
more. It's not about BLM and Black Lives Matter. That's just, that's political
Yeah.
stuff.
That's
But
it.
I'm
Like
just
you
saying,
said.
from the grassroots perspective, if
Yeah.
we, oh man, we're powerful.
You know what? We breaking that right now. We the ones that to break that. So, and
Right. We
I'm
know who
doing it.
will,
I'm
right?
doing it now. I mean, I'm involving everyone, but you know what? I'm gonna definitely be one of the ones to break that, and I
Yeah.
definitely know you are too, and
Yeah.
already have been. And but it's like you always said about divine timing and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
You're gonna it's gonna be divine timing when you you know what I'm saying, you already had that vision, and then it's divine timing when you run into the other people and other people that's
Right.
going to have the same vision
Right.
of you, and y'all come together in that
Absolutely.
time. Your involvement in the movie Fighting Temptations
Hmm.
showcased your acting talent.
Hmm.
Can you share your experience working on this project, and do you have any aspirations for the future roles in film or television?
I'll start with that one first. I am
All right.
open, available, and interested in anyone who's listening out there.
Mm-hmm.
Uncle
Right,
Earl
right,
is
right, right.
ready anytime. But
Mm-hmm.
that was quite an interesting experience because I was actually flown to Atlanta to do it. I was selected
Mm-hmm.
because I was on Broadway at the time doing a show called Fosse.
Right,
And
right.
and this was back in like 90 something. But anyway, the director saw me in the show and he was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, I want that guy. Get that guy." And they called me. It's like, "Oh, the director went." I was like, "Who?" I didn't even know who he was. Jonathan Lynn. He's pretty famous, but I didn't know who he was
Mm-hmm.
at the time. And so I flew out there and I really
Mm-hmm.
didn't understand everything about it. And when I got there, I was like, "Oh my God." I mean,
Right.
Beyonce's over there, Cuba Gooding Jr. is over there, Melba Moore is over there, Eddie Laverta's over there, Pastor Shirley Caesar's over there, Ann Nesby's over there, Faith Evans is over there. I was just like, oh my God, I hit the jackpot. I mean,
Right.
to be around my
Mm-hmm.
people like that.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm used to doing a lot of
Mm-hmm.
shows and I'm like the token.
Right, right. Yep.
So to
Stand
be,
out.
so to be with my people like that, that was
Mm-hmm.
like nothing I could ever imagine.
Right.
And the woman who did the costumes for Wakanda was our
Mm-hmm.
costume, Ruth. I can't remember her last name, but the woman who did the costumes for that show did Wakanda. And oh man, it was just a great
Mm-hmm.
experience. So my character, they let me use Uncle Earl.
Mm-hmm.
And I was one of the church patrons. In the beginning, there was a scene with a funeral, and I get the Holy Ghost and Spirit. I'm shouting all over the church and jumping, and they just
Mm-hmm.
followed the camera and they just said, "Act the fool, Uncle Earl." I was like, "I acted the fool," and
Right.
they caught it. But yeah, man, it was a
Yeah, that
great
movie was
experience.
funny, man. That was a funny movie, man.
Yeah, yeah, we filmed
Listen.
that in Atlanta, by the way.
Yeah, I think it did look like it was like Atlanta.
Yeah.
The look of it, everything.
Mhm.
They got those sceneries.
Right, those same
Yeah,
sceneries that you see in Tyler
yeah,
Perry.
right, exactly.
You see the same
Uh,
people walking back. I was like, wait a minute, did you just walk?
and then the way the stuff, like some of the churches look, some of the just the buildings and stuff, they got their own like type of look to it.
Absolutely. Right, right, right.
As as a culture curator
Mm.
and mentor for emerging talents, what advice would you give to those aspiring to make their mark in the entertainment industry, particularly in the digital age?
Mm. Okay, I'm going to start off just in general first, and then I'll take it to the digital. But
Yep.
whenever you're placed in a situation, become a human sponge.
Right.
Soak up
Exactly.
everything. Don't just come in there with those horse blinders on, like, this is what I'm doing, this is me, and I'm just going to do this. You open that up, you learn everybody in that room, what their function is, watch them do their function so you know how you fit into the wheel. Because each
Hmm.
person in that is important, or the wheel will wobble if one ain't working right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you need to know what
Right.
the lighting guy's doing, what the cable guy's
Hmm.
doing, what the sound man is doing, what the costume people are doing. Everybody in there is important. What the
Hmm.
boom guy that's holding the boom over your head so that you can be heard and it's not in the shot. How do
Right.
you do that? Yeah, just be aware. And if there's somebody ever asks you to do something, don't be like, nah, I don't do that, that's not my thing. You better get in there and learn on the job.
Right.
Never say no.
Right.
you know just be open and available to receive, because you don't know what blessing will come of that. And people are like, oh, I like that dude, he's real cool to get along with. Because this is
Hmm.
the key. I'm gonna tell you, this is the real key. I'm giving away a key right now,
All right. I'm really checking it out.
exclusively on Robert Hollingsworth. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Appreciate it.
this is the key. If people like you and they
Hmm.
can be in a room with you for 8 to 10 to 12 hours, you're in. And it doesn't matter about how talented you are or not sometimes. I mean, of course, you want the talent, but can I stand you? Can I be around you
Hmm.
for a long period of time and you not get on my nerves?
Right. Right. Right.
That's the key. So you can come in there with all the talent. If you got that attitude,
Yeah. Well, arrogant attitude type
I
of
mean,
way.
some people skate by with it for a while, but it catches up to you.
Yeah.
But if people
Right.
like
Right.
you, you will work
Right.
all the time.
Right.
Because people will refer you, hey man, call such and such. Say he's a cool guy, or cool. She's great. Word of mouth
Exactly. Exactly.
is king.
Exactly.
Okay, now going to the
no.
digital age, that because that was
Yeah.
just normal. But in the digital age, protection. Don't be so eager for an opportunity. Be eager for
Right.
the right opportunity, like we talked about divine timing,
Hmm.
divine placement.
Right.
Don't just
Hmm.
say, "Oh, anything. Yeah, I'll do it." No, 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 because you will feel sorry later if you don't do your homework, if you don't know what it's all about, because they can now take your likeness and put it anywhere and do anything and
Hmm.
make you be anywhere. Don't just be wise in this digital age.
Hmm.
It's all new to all of us. We don't know where this is going to take us, and it's kind of scary. It is
You
very,
got that right.
very scary.
One thing one thing I do. It's a lot of things I love about it though. The digital age more than the back in the day, because it's just a lot more resources, more tools to utilize, and it's also one of the main things I love about the digital age is that it allows us as creators to have way more power and control over our actual creation.
True.
And I mean in any field, that there is.
Hmm.
And in music, before, back in the day, they say, oh, poor man's copyright. Just mail it to yourself. Because before the digital age, man, it's like you had to send it to the Library of Congress. You still
Right.
do. They
Wait
tell
for
you
it.
that.
Right.
But you can actually you can actually bypass it now until you
Hmm.
might you might need them actually,
Hmm.
but as of, what I'm saying, because of
Yeah, you
things are
get your
stamped.
digital
Things are
receipt.
stamped. You're right. You
Yeah,
get your
yeah.
digital receipt. So,
Hmm.
with such a rich and diverse career, is there a project or achievement that stands out as a personal highlight or turning point in your journey?
Wow, man. So many. It's so many. I've had so
Hmm.
many rites of passages and turning points. Wow.
I mean, is it one that's just really, really? I mean, that really started to when it was like, then things start. I think you, excuse me. I think you mentioned something about you were saying something about something you did, and then it was kind of like took off, kind of. Well, you was talking about the radio. I know you said something about the
Yeah, the
radio,
radio. I mean, there's
but
so
I don't
many.
know if.
Yeah, there's so many things. I mean, really, I like I said, I've been blessed my whole life. Every job I've done pretty much has been a great job,
Hmm.
and that's hard to say, you
Right,
know.
right,
So I just kept myself focused and around the right people in the right rooms at the right time, and I didn't piss nobody off, you know. So, well, I
hmm.
might have pissed a few people off, but they got
Yeah,
over
you know that's almost
it.
impossible
I mean,
not to
that
piss
goes about
somebody off.
you can't get
You
along
know.
with everybody all the time. You can't
Yeah,
please all the
right,
people all the
right,
time.
right. Yeah.
But wow, I'll say this: working with Debbie Allen was life changing. Like I said, I was with
Hmm.
her for 10 years and I did everything. I did a show with her first.
Hmm.
Um, Actually, we were in a show, but not at the same time. Raisin, it was a musical version of a Raisin the Sun that Sidney Poitier was in. She played the
Hmm.
sister and I played the son. And I
Okay.
went into the end of the Broadway. I was about 12 years old at that time.
Wow.
But she was just leaving the show as I was coming in. So we didn't work together, but we did that thing. And then about 20 years later, we did a show together called Sweet Charity with Bob Fosse. And I was dancing with her every night. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe Debbie Allen's here. And she said, after it was done, she said, if you come to LA, give me a call. I was on the next thing smoking. I was like, boom, boom, on her doorbell. I was like, I'm here. And I
Right.
worked with her on everything after Fame until I came back to New York. So the Academy Awards, TV movies, everything she was doing. And sometimes I was her partner dancing with her.
Wow.
Yeah, so that she was very instrumental in my creative expansion.
Yeah, I didn't know you worked with Debbie Allen. I
Yeah,
know
and
she
her
definitely
sister
she's a
Felicia too.
legend.
I
And
worked
that
with her sister Felicia Rashad too.
also
Yeah,
you said you and Diddy hadn't actually didn't actually work together before,
not
but you said
together,
what?
but not together. But I mean, I met him and he was around because I did
Hmm.
the American Music Awards shows, the Emmy, the Grammy Awards. I mean, you know, you're in the room
Right,
with a
right,
lot
right.
of people all the time, you know. But yeah, I didn't actually. My sister actually sang with Diddy, but I didn't. I went to his
Oh yeah.
rehearsal and watched. Yeah, her name is Mariska, but she's an acting coach now. She kind
Hmm.
of stepped out the business. But yeah, I didn't work with him,
Hmm.
and you know, God bless him for what he's going through.
Well, yeah,
That's
yeah,
all I want to
most
say.
definitely, man.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that to everybody else, but because we
Give it his
don't do none of
father.
that on the Expression Show. We don't do any
No, 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 no,
gossiping on the
no, no,
Expression Show because
no, no.
you never know. One thing about it is, man, those are people life,
Yeah,
and I don't want to judge
yeah,
people. I don't want to put their business out to the public. It's already out there. They want to go. If people want to go see what's going on, they can go read
yeah,
somewhere else. Is
yeah.
this is
And
not the messy show.
yeah, we have to be careful in our business because it's so easy for a little thing to become a molehill, you know. And
Hmm.
I know from experience that sometimes one little thing can happen and
Hmm.
you spend the rest of your life proving that it's not true.
Hmm.
It's not true.
Right, and it may not even be true, and that's
You
just
know,
man.
but that's
You
what
know,
the media can spin something and get it going and people and
yeah,
it could be a little thing like, oh, he broke his shoelace. So I thought, oh, did you see he pushed somebody out and broke their leg from a shoelace? You know, I mean, I'm just saying it
yeah,
just
right,
grows and
right.
grows by the time it gets to the 10th and 50th person, you know. So yeah,
Hmm.
just bless him. I bless him, his
Hmm.
family, and you know, let's just keep it
Right,
moving.
right. I appreciate you, Uncle Earl. That was actually the last question on that one.
Oh,
The
oh,
But I've been. I mean, we could keep going, man. But it,
Could I just
man,
share one thing with you before we
yes,
go?
yes, definitely.
Okay. It's a project that I'm working on right now that is my
Mhm.
heart and soul. It's called New School, the musical, a musical
Okay,
experience. And it is a project that I started with my partner Leroy Campbell when I was in LA about 12 years ago. It was a
okay,
film
okay.
based in the 80s and 90s. So it's so apropos being that this is the 50th anniversary of hip hop right now.
Hmm.
It's all original music. I'm the lyricist. He did the music, and the concept is his, but I adapted it for the stage. And we've been doing a series of readings. I just finished a reading here in New York, very
Okay,
successful, and we will be going forward into 2024,
great,
into workshop and into production, hopefully by fall of 2024. But it's a killer story because it's about humanity, basically, told through the eyes
awesome,
of the inner city kid.
awesome,
You know,
awesome.
who
That's
goes through
great.
trials and tribulations and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah. So
That's
look out for that.
awesome,
New
man.
School, the musical, is coming at you.
New school music. Hey, when it comes, let me know. Just send me the link. I'm
Yes.
gonna put it on. I'm definitely gonna promote it and everything. And you already know.
Yeah,
And
and
I
and,
thank
and,
you for
and,
joining.
and if
Go
I'm not
ahead.
mistaken, you sent me some tracks or some music or something.
Did I send you some
Did you?
tracks of my
Did you?
own?
Did you send me something?
I don't know. I might have sent you a couple
Okay.
things.
If I did, if you didn't, maybe the universe is telling me that you should. Or
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna send you some
little
stuff,
little
man.
bird just whispered on my shoulder.
Yep, I'm gonna send you a couple of them tonight, man. I'm gonna inbox you some,
Okay.
let you check some stuff
Yeah.
out, man. Some things I want to kind of redo, a lot of different things. But there's a couple of them that you know, I'm just, I'm trying to. I don't want to talk too much about it, but I got plans, man. I got plans, and I got things in store, and so I'm gonna send you a couple of stuff I do have currently, and let you definitely check it
Awesome.
out and critique it for me and stuff.
Awesome,
I
man.
would appreciate that
I look
too.
forward to it. Yeah.
Yep.
I look forward to it.
And I appreciate you again. Thanks again, Uncle Earl. Just giving me the opportunity and you know coming on the Expression Show,
Yeah.
blessing us with your presence, and we definitely gonna be doing this again.
All right.
So just let
And
me
when I
know.
start back up, I'll have you on my show too. We'll do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, cause yeah, and if, maybe we can, kind of, team up together with both of the shows, make it a, a powerhouse, and stuff. So
Hey,
and
I believe in endless possibilities. You know, the
cause you
universe
know
is
what,
ours.
it'll make it a lot easier. For the both of us when you team up with someone else because this stuff is a lot of work and building content and stuff like that, like so that way it can take off the load. I might have material ready. You might not have all your material ready yet, but I can give you my material, or maybe I don't
Yeah.
have everything ready this week and you do, and we just kind of piggyback off each other like that, man.
Yeah.
I've been trying to talk to people about it,
Hmm.
but it's like I don't know if people really think about it that way, but
But that's what I'm saying. We should.
yeah, yeah,
That's what it goes back to what I
yeah. I'm
said.
willing.
We
So
need
just let
to
me know, man. Just let me
amalgamate,
know.
make conglomerates. Like
Mhm.
what Tyler's doing by himself. Everybody needs to do that and more.
Right, right. So I'm
Build the kingdom.
yeah, most definitely, you know, and that's what we're gonna do, and that's what we're doing now.
Hmm.
Is building a kingdom, and that's what we know. You got to build a team in
Hmm.
order to have a king or to, start your own whatever.
Yeah. Let me ask you this before we got. I know we got to go, but have you ever been in any other vein of the entertainment industry yourself?
You said any other lane?
In it, yeah.
I'm in this lane.
Besides music, have you
Bes-
TV, film, or theater? Have you ever been in any one of those others?
I have, but I mean, not like majorly, but definitely, yeah. Since I was when I was 12, I started actually producing music at 12 years old. I had a four track. My dad had bought me a 4-track recorder, and I would. That's when I think Dr. Dre and them had first came out.
Okay.
The Dog Pound came out. I
Okay.
mean, and I started mimicking Dr. Dre's beats. And
Awesome.
then I started. That's how I started. And then I was mimicking people's songs. I started with that. Then my dad he told me, he said, listen, at times I would do like some original, but he said, listen, he like, I like the stuff you do. He's like, but he was like, I want you to stick with your sound. Stick with your sound. Get into your sound more. And then ever since then, stuck with my sound. And then
Hmm.
about 16, 15, I say about 15, 14, 15, I started getting into also editing videos
Oh.
and stuff as well. Me and my cousin, he was a little younger than me, but he was
Hmm.
the one that kind of got me into that because we both did music, but when he got introduced to the video stuff, and he fell in love. It became his
That's a
first love,
noble skill, man. It's
and I
not for
got into
everybody.
yeah.
That is not for everybody. You got to have patience
Oh, I
and
love it,
focus,
man.
focus and
It it it
clarity.
it just the love for it came so naturally though. Even though it wasn't my first love, it became his first love more over the music. It didn't become my first love over the music, but I loved it though. And I was a natural at it as well. Learned how to edit videos and movies. We tried to do short films, man. That was back when the Hot Boys, Juvenile, and I was a youngster, man.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I got experience in video editing. I got experience in photography, manipulating images,
Hmm.
um, most depth putting together events, promoting. Put me and my pops. We put together two concerts at our local mall.
Awesome.
It was the first show was 6 hours long.
Wow.
Concert was 6 hours long,
Okay.
and we gathered up, just collab with a bunch of different people around the city
Hmm.
and around the state, and gathered people up in different groups and stuff. And the event was called Celebration. I think it was a celebration of music, and it was just beautiful. It was all types of different styles of music,
Nice.
gospel, quartet. Just it was nice, man. It brung out we what we did. We teamed up with this store. It was called Keys to Creativity store, and the guy he co-signed for local artists, like painting artists,
Mm-hmm.
so they could bring their art into there. And if they couldn't, and he would put it in his store, and if it sold, he'd get us just a small percentage of it. He would allow them to
Hmm.
make some money that way.
That's
But
awesome.
when we did that show, it was a lot. The guy, he couldn't even come out to see the show the whole 6 hours because
Really?
it was a line all the way out his store. And I mean, it wasn't just regular people. These were, I mean, and we didn't know at that time. We just thought they were just regular people.
People with
They
money.
were they were all executives, all the biggest executives throughout the whole city. And man, we got a lot of doors open that did open up after that. So
Awesome.
with that,
Awesome. Cool.
yeah,
Wow. Well, man, thank you so much for this. And
no
I'm not going to get
problem, man.
into the story, but I did work with Dre and Easy E back in the day too. But
You did. Now, let's get into that
we'll do
right
that.
now. We'll do that another time because you got a lot of stories, man. Right? You
Yes.
got a lot. So we say let's save some, right?
Okay.
Then
Yeah.
and then
This is
because you
just a
got a lot of stuff, man.
little tidbit.
Yeah, we gave them already.
That's
Man,
what I'm saying. I have to, like, when I send my resume, people be like, "Man, you lied. You haven't done all that." I was like, "I did. I really did."
right.
Yeah.
And if you can, man, you got any different like photos or anything stuff like that, if you can send me them as well, so I can like put
Like
them up
like
there
with
as
things
well.
we talked about and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I see what I
yeah.
can do.
Certain things, whatever souvenir type of things. If you could, um, even if you could like create it, even you don't have to create it yourself, but if you could like just send me the stuff, I could create like a collage of it myself,
Okay.
for you and stuff. And so,
Yeah, I can send you some stuff. Sure.
all right, I appreciate it, Uncle Earl.
Yeah, no
I'm gonna,
problem. No problem.
I'm
Thank you.
gonna probably hit you up a little later on in the week and
Okay.
stuff. We chop
Okay.
it up some more.
Sounds good.
All right,
Have a
Uncle.
good night.
All right, you
All
too.
right. Take
You
care.
too.
Bye
Take
bye.
care.